What's up, guys? It's Coaster Zet, and today I have another countdown for you. This one was a request. So today I'll be counting down the top 8 coasters at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, in my opinion, from number 8 to number 1. Just getting started, this park has a great collection of coasters, and let's just get started with the countdown. Number 8 is Grover's Alpine Express. This is a kiddie coaster, but it's a pretty solid kiddie coaster. Not a long ride, but pretty tall for a kiddie coaster, 24 feet, and it's got a decent theme and a decent layout, so it's a decent kiddie coaster, but it's just a kiddie coaster. Number 7 is Verbolten. This is one of the best themed coasters I've ever been on, outside of Disney, of course, but it's supposed to be a family coaster, but it really isn't. I don't think. It features a couple of fun launches, and then at one point you get launched into the show building. There's some very intense G-forces inside there, and then of course a vertical track drop, which is pretty fun. So this is a very good coaster, but definitely not a family coaster, but a lot of fun. Number 6 is Invader. This is the newest coaster here. It's a GCI Woody, and it's a lot of fun. There's some good airtime, and the first drop is a lot of fun. Just be careful, the lines can get pretty long in there just because it's new. When I went, there was pretty much nobody there, but there was still a bit of a line with this one. But it's still a lot of fun, and there's some great theming around too. It's themed to the Vikings, so just a lot of good coaster, a lot of fun. Number 5 is the Loch Ness Monster, and this is a pretty special coaster for me because this was one of my first big coasters. And it's a great ride, probably one of the best coasters that Arrow produced. It has a good layout, it's a pretty long ride, and of course, who doesn't like those great interlocking loops? It's pretty smooth for an Arrow, it's got some great theming, it's got that tunnel, and that first drop is so much fun. So Loch Ness Monster, I think, is superior to Invader and Verbolten. There are others that may not agree, but that's just my opinion. Number 4 is Alpengeist, and the thing with Alpengeist is the front row is a fantastic ride. Smooth, intense, fun. Everything you want in a B&M invert. Of course, this is the tallest B&M invert, so that makes it even better. But any other of the rows, I also rode it in the 2nd and the 7th row, not nearly as good. Much rougher, a bit jerkier, and during that Cobra roll, that's a bit painful. It is one of the earlier B&M inverts, but the front row, go front row on this coaster. It is so much better. It is an amazing ride in the front row, especially some of those inversions it has. It has 6 inversions. I think the Immelman is my favorite, but the 0G roll is also a lot of fun, and of course the theming is on point with this coaster. And number 3 is Griffin, the B&M dive coaster. This is a great dive coaster. It's the better of the two. I've also ridden SheiKra. In my opinion, it's the better of the two. It was my 75th coaster, actually. That first drop is amazing. Has a couple of great Immelman inversions. And that second drop is so much fun. I think the second drop on Griffin is so underrated. Of course, that splashdown's a lot of fun, and it's very smooth. It's just a great B&M coaster. Number 2 is Tempesto, the second newest coaster at the park. This is a Premier Ride Skyrocket 2, and it features 3 launches. The first launch, you just launch a little bit up forward, then you go backwards, then you go forward and all the way around, complete with this what is that? Inline twist on the top, which is a great inversion. Especially you roll through it so slow. And the drop is a lot of fun. Then you go into a non-inverting loop. That is what you can see most of right there. But overall, it's a great ride, and you can get some great hang time, especially if you're in the front row. And number 1 is Apollo's Chariot, the first ever B&M hypercoaster. This is a great ride. It has a fantastic first drop, some great airtime, and that third drop by the river, that is so much fun. The helix is a little bit intense, so that's something. Pulls some G-forces, and it has the exceedingly comfortable B&M clamshell restraints, which is great, and it's just a great ride, and definitely one you have to do at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. So that is why I've put it as the #1 coaster at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. Alright, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure to comment your top 8 coasters at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. Coasterzette signing in.